GoPro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic. And as many portraits
suggests and is very clear that we can.
What's up, Dr. Nova? What it be, my good friend? $4 p.m. Friday in the Earlverse. I'm just checking in with the peeps. Hoping everyone has a good weekend and that we all do what we want to do. Bennett, I thought you were dead. Thought wrong, John. You know what today is, John? Payday. It's Vernon Wells playing Bennett, the homosexual bad guy in Commando. You know, when he was on Inappropriate Earl, he told me that he replaced a bad guy. I'm still not sure. I've looked up Commando and it doesn't say who he replaced, which I find very interesting. Well, I don't know if he was gay or not, to be honest with you. I never really saw that black guy in anything with the straw hat who he killed on the plane. The thing I found funny about Commando was the stewardess who he asked the question, "Excuse me, how long do we land in Valverde?" 11 hours. You know he fucked that girl. Like, that was a part that was absolutely not necessary. But welcome to Hollywood. Of course, David Kelly was, well, you could always tell in the 80s, like, you know, when there was a girl who had like one line in a scene that someone fucked her, you know, because that scene really wasn't very necessary. But you know, Schwarzenegger probably met her at Gold's Gym and you know, I put you in a movie, but you got to suck my pee-pee first. I mean, that's the funny thing. Rob Schneider had the best joke about Schwarzenegger fucking the maid. He's like, that's how lazy he was. He didn't even leave the house. I mean, who knows with that girl? I never really saw her. I never saw her in anything else after Commando. So she probably was just some hoe. And, you know, there we go. Getting a text that I must answer. Is the mall? Yes, I believe most of the shooting locations are still around. Because that was, I believe, now to me, I thought it looked a little bit like the Santa Monica Place Mall where Fast Times was filmed. But I believe it might have been the Sherman Oaks Galleria. Because when they pull out of the mall to chase David Patrick Kelly, it looks like they're on Ventura Boulevard. And it also checks out that the opening scene of the movie where Bill Duke drives a car out of Casa de Cadillac, that, if you are ever in Los Angeles, it's pretty cool to see, is on the corner of Ventura and Beverly Glen, which is about a mile west of the Sherman Oaks Galleria. So that checks out. And here's the crazy thing. It looks just like it did in 1983. They have not changed it at all. So that's very weird. Like every time I drive by it, I can see Bill Duke, and I never saw that car salesman in anything again. Although I do recall looking at his IMDb one night randomly, and it said that he had been in quite a few things. You don't want leather, brother. Leather's dry, it cracks. This is American ingenuity. You think the Japanese invented that? Bullshit. We did. You know what I like best about this? The price. It's free. The great Bill Duke. Always good in everything he did. What's up? Are you ready to rock? This stream really has no purpose. Yes, it is redone, but I do believe, nationalists, that the 24-hour fitness is still there. I used to go to that one. I think they might still have movies there, but the majority of it, I think the inside is no longer there. So I would say that the majority of Commando was filmed in the Valley. Now, I believe the house where they had Alyssa Milano was like Santa Barbara, maybe Montecito, because that's where they had the bad guy. Sosa's house from Scarface was in Santa Barbara, because it looks like Colombia. So I could see certain parts of Santa Barbara looking like Puerto Rico or wherever they were supposed to be. I forget, Valverde, I guess. I'm not sure where that is. But Commando, a great movie, great cast. You can tell it didn't have a huge budget. Because I don't know. I mean, Commando was 83, so I don't think Schwartz. So that's right before Terminator. So he wasn't really quite a star yet. But, I mean, I could guess the budget for Commando maybe being $15 million. What up, Ross? Oh, Commando was 85. For some reason, I thought it was 83. So still, I believe, when was Terminator? 84? You sure Commando was before Terminator? Let me check that out. I'm not doubting you, Ross, but let me check that out. Let's check out Schwarzenegger's films up until that time. William Zoom, you are an encyclopedia. That is a welcomed addition to the okay, 79 film credits. Let's check out what his very first film was. Okay, Hercules in New York, 1970. Well, we won't count that. Stay Hungry is in Streets of San Francisco. He's in a fair amount of things, actually. See, Conan the Barbarian was 82. Conan the Destroyer, 84. Wow. Well, I take that back. He was a star then. So Commando, 1985. So it was right after Red Sonja, right after Terminator. But I would still guess that since Terminator was was kind of an under the radar hit, and I would say not even necessarily because of Schwarzenegger. It was just such a great movie and gritty, kind of like RoboCop. No budget. Um, so I don't. I'd be curious to see what the budget for Commando was. I mean, I would say Schwarzenegger was the. I mean, I think Predator put him on the map in terms of $20 million films and whatnot. Because Raw Deal was right before Predator, and that was not a big budget film. I mean, I think for action movies, it was a real nice run from. I mean, I guess you could include the Conan the Barbarian movies, maybe from like 1982 to like 90. I mean, when you look at some of the action movies that were, in that time frame from say Conan the Barbarian to maybe Tango and Cash. Uh, just a great run. I mean, I think personally 87, 88 is the best run of action movies where you had Predator, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, and then 88 Bloodsport. Um, I mean, Over the Top in 87 was kind of it's so bad it's good. Cobra 86. So I mean, like maybe 85 to 88. Great run. And then they kind of, I think the formula got so the same that the movies were like, Passenger 57 in the 90s was basically Die Hard on a plane. So oh shit, Kate M in the house. I'm mulling back and forth, Kate M, to be honest with you. The plane ticket's about $1,900. Now, tickets in the A section are not that much, surprisingly. It's about $300. But the plane flight I have my eye on, which would leave Los Angeles at 6 in the morning Sunday, gets to Charlotte at 1:30. So I've got 2.5 hours to get to Greensboro. I'm still on the fence because it is a fair amount of money. I'm not pleading poverty, but it's a nice leather jacket on the line. So we'll see. I have no doubt. I have no doubt of Kate M's capabilities. And it's not just any Plato's Retreat shirt. It's a special Plato's Retreat shirt. I don't know, Big Ben Jones. It's just that initial run from, let's just say, Commando to Bloodsport. Man, that's 6, 7 really good action movies. And then, they kind of fell off the wayside with, The Perfect Weapon, which I love. That's a guilty pleasure for sure. But, I did like, what was the Cliffhanger was good. I think that was 92. I thought that was a very good action movie. There were some definitely good ones. I like Drop Zone. I think that was 94 with Wesley Snipes with the great Luca, an underrated actor from that time frame. You never really hear this guy or hear from this guy. But you get, um, he was in Drop Zone. He was in American Flyers, where he plays a great bad guy in one of my favorite episodes of Miami Vice, the great Luca Bercovici, who kind of looked exactly like John Glover. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they went out on the same roles, same kind of great at playing scumbags. Um, and I actually talked to him a few times on Twitter. He's now has a film production company in like Saudi Arabia. Like, that's the crazy thing about this business is you can be a working actor for 10 years and then you just say fuck it and go off to Saudi Arabia and you know be happy. I mean, from American Flyers to like Drop Zone, and he was great in the Comedy Store Paid Regular, Michael Keaton's Clean and Sober, where he played one of the inpatients at the rehab facility. So, yeah, K2, like I knew you would know who he is, William. Like he's an actor that I think uh, should be more talked about because he would. I often say this about Gene Hackman. What up, Sour Milk? Luca, he was good in everything he did. Like you could put him in a shitty movie, like I don't know, Porky's 4, and he'd be good in it. So, I mean, I agree, Dr. Novi. I mean, like I said, there were some good ones, but instead of there being, 3 to 4 good ones a year and we're talking, uh, we're talking, Delta Force in 1986. That's a good movie. Braddock Missing in Action. I believe that was like 84. Days with Jordan the Lion in the House. I mean, I just got to think about, do I really want to spend probably from leaving LA to touching back down in LA? I literally wouldn't be there for more than 24 hours. Do I want to spend 3 grand-ish doing that? But I have noticed the flights and the tickets are going down by the hour. So it's a little bit of a cat and mouse game, Kate and Jordan. Check out Jordan's travel vlog, Days with Jordan the Lion. The best in the business. Yeah, I mean, the original Batman with Michael Keaton, I like him the best, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm blocked by Hulk Hogan for some reason. I would guess Hulk Hogan doesn't run his account. So they probably saw my sex tape joke on Rich and Shameless on TNT. Of course, I didn't get paid for that. I mean, that's Hollywood in a nutshell. And I asked the guy who ran the Ric Flair roast, well, if I was Kevin Brennan, I'd be there already. I'd have the money, honey. Um, do I want to spend 3 grand on Sting's last match, or do I want to buy a nice leather jacket? But I still have some time to think about it. I was just on the American Airlines flight. My seat on the 6:30 in the morning flight is still available, and plenty of tickets left. I'm a little, I don't know. Well, I guess you could say the event's sold out, but I think a lot of scalpers got tickets to this, and are currently the seat in section A, row 9 is, I believe, $300 plus fees. You're looking probably, after all is said and done, about 400 bones. You make a solid point. You do make a solid point. And it is a good card. Plus, I would get to see Kate and Jordan. So there's a lot of positives to going to Charlotte, North Carolina, traveling then to Greensboro. I mean, I literally would get to the arena right around the dark hour. Um, And I have already spoken to my confidant in AEW, the great RJ City, who is a fan of mine, as he should be. He would like for my presence to be there as well. But, we'll see. Never say never. Um, if I do go, I have a spot at the Comedy Store tomorrow night. I would literally get off stage at probably 2 o'clock. I'll assume everyone's running the light. And then I will just go to LAX. Well, I always work best under pressure. Or do I just stay home and watch the pay-per-view for $50? I know it's not the same as being there, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm still undecided. I am a fence sitter on going to Sting's final match, which I do believe will be his final match. Jeff wouldn't go to the final match unless everything was free. I feel like Virgil is looking over my shoulder right now. Oh, wait, he is. So, we'll see. I mean, if I have a good set tomorrow night, I might just buy the ticket in the green room of the Comedy Store and say, fuck it, let's go. Bat dance. Interesting. Let's see, we got some good crosstalk. Jeff would go, absolutely, because he probably knows enough D-level celebrities who could hook him up with a free flight. Free tickets to the end, maybe the chance to meet. I don't know. But never mind, I can't say that. I'm on a gag order. So Virgil didn't have the money to buy an Uber to get to the airport. I will miss Virgil's boogers hanging out of his nose and him just not giving a fuck, just talking right in front of your face with boogers the size of baseballs in his nose. But the rest of, I mean, a lot of people died in the last week and a half. You got, let me see, Virgil, Meat from Porky's, Tim Dr. Hook McCracken from Slapshot, Richard Lewis, and I think there was a fifth. Someone else died. Ole Anderson, Eat Beaver. I might weigh the plane down. I mean, the plane might not get to Arizona, let alone Greensboro. So why do you have to postpone dinner? The great William Zoom. I mean, we got some real all-stars in the stream right now. We're gonna go till about 6 o'clock. 4 because at 6 o'clock I have a appointment for the Man Zillion. So I got to take a shower to make sure there's no shrapnel back door. Come on, 10-4, good buddy. Oh, sorry about that, William. I mean, I just remember, and Jordan can be my backup, talking to Virgil at the day after the Ric Flair roast. There was like a Comic-Con for 80s wrestlers, and Virgil was trying to sell kids' phone apps for $2 a month, trying to charge me $30 for that picture behind me. Shit. So, and I also have to figure out how to get from Greensboro to the arena and get to the airport after. So it's like, it's an expensive endeavor, even for the daddy man. I mean, I've never done it before, but 4 ads, that shouldn't be. Sorry, Colt C. Let me, no, I'm not gonna fuck with the volume during this show. Actually, I don't know how to edit. I'm not gonna try right now, but I put the ads on moderate ads, just so it wouldn't be a pain in the ass. No, I know I can turn them. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see. Edit. I don't know if this takes me off the screen or not. Okay. Okay, monetization. It says balanced. And I have it on balanced. Of course, you can go conservative, which is basically no ads, aggressive, which is out of control. So it is on balanced. So I'd hate to see the aggressive one. Um, oh, okay. I'm not. I try not to be. Um, oh, okay. I mean, at least you're not like Jay Santos, who sent me a fake $100 super chat. I don't. I love Jay, but a fake super chat is like, I don't know. I thought that was out of line. Oh, I did not see that. Um, oh, okay. Well, I mean, I try not to be annoying because, frankly, you make the least money on the people watching or the ads. I think the best way to make money, at least on streams, and Jordan might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, is super chats. Uh, so I don't know, but it was like a fake, and I got all excited, and usually the next day your account gets re-upped is how I understand it. Um, but I noticed, oh, there should be $100. I think I don't know. I made like $50 in the stream. I thought, oh, I'm 150 today. That's pretty good for me. Um, so no, no. I mean, Colt C. I'm not. I wasn't trying to do that to get people to super chat me. I don't panhandle for money here. But Colt C. $1.99, not fake, bitch. Thank you very much, Colt C. I just thought like I don't know why would you do that to someone you're a fan of? Well, I mean on the shorts, which is ironically where I get the most views, just because they're shorts. I'd probably average 3 views on shorts. I've literally made like a quarter because it's. I mean, Jordan would know more than me. You get like a penny or something um, for every 1,000 views, but like on the super chats and memberships, it's pretty good. It's like you're not gonna buy a home from it, but it's pretty good money. Um, I have not seen John 5 ripping off Steve Stevens' ray gun. I want heads. Well, I don't think he was a troll. I think he was just trying to be funny. Um, so I don't know. I don't understand that. Like like I don't know. Like I do a lot of free work on here still, for the fans. I mean, it's not like, hold on, we have a visitor here. Lois, would you like to say hello to the fans? Hold on. Lois, come here. She ain't having it. Uh, oh, I've heard John Five's a pretty good guy, so I would guess maybe that they're friends or something. See, there's Lois. She's chilling right now. She's just chilling right now. But sorry, someone is sending me a clip of Richard Lewis talking about how big Shaq's dick was. Uh, I've heard it's a big one, but I heard John Sally's is even bigger. But I just thought, like, I don't know, like it kind of got me a little mad, you know. That's like I've done a lot of free streaming uh on here, so to send me a fake super chat was just like at first I thought it was funny, and then I was like, why would you do that? But yeah, and he's a fan. He's not like a troll who came in on the DL. What up, Dr. Chow, the Mega G? Is this the real Dr. Chow or the fake Dr. Chow? That's when you know you've made it in the world of streaming, when you have a fake version of yourself. Like, heaven forbid there is a fake Earl Skakel out there. The world's not ready for that. No, I thought. No, I knew $100,000 super chat was. I think someone sent me $100 super chat, and it was just okay. That's cool. But it's all good, man. I mean, but it's just like kind of silly. I think to do that to someone you're an actual fan of. Or am I in the wrong here? You guys tell me. Um, Hold on, just answering a quick text. I'm a one-man soldier. Um, but enough about fake super chats. Let's talk about life. It's possible, could have been the kingdom. Roderick Strong. It is a good card. I mean, it is a very good card. Um, I mean, I am tempted. I'm just 50-50 to be honest with you. I mean, if it was in LA, obviously I'd be going. If it was in like Vegas, I'd probably drive to it. Arizona, I'd probably drive to it. But the other end of the country is, it's not that I'm lazy. And traveling at 6 in the morning would be pretty easy to LAX on a Sunday. And I don't think a lot of people fly out of LAX on Sunday morning at that time. Uh, you know, I'm bummed out that Big Bill won't be there. We've been communicating. How do you go from tag team champs to nothing? And Jay White's not on the card. I mean that Hobbs Wardlow. I think what is it, Lance Archer too. It's just I don't know. It's just so last minute put together. I'd rather see. Why don't you have Jay White against Wardlow? I wonder what, if anything, random we'll have to say about Ray DeVito. We don't talk about the dabblers in here. This is a Dabbleverse free stream room, chat room, whatever you want to call it. We don't dabble in here. There will be no Ray DeVito questions or whatever. Um, the pay structure, the pricing structure is any Dabbleverse questions, $100 and up. Any Jeff Ross questions, $500 and up, and certain ex-girlfriend questions. It's a tiered structure there. Yeah, I mean, is Miro hurt? Oh, Mark Random is a comic. Well, no unknown comic questions in this stream, which is most comics, to be honest with you. No, the fake super chats are not allowed. I've had to take a stand. Fake super chats is a bannable offense. I don't know any of Louis J. Gomez's sidekicks other than Zach Amico. Well, Eat Beaver, you might on that. I have to buy a second ticket for my dick. Now for Hackamania, I can drive there. So, but who knows? I'm not even on the flyer of Hackamania when I've got more TV credits than the whole show put together. But I'm certainly not driving to Vegas to meet Carl Hamburger and 5 of his friends. I've never actually spoken to Carl, so there you go. Yeah, so you can definitely make sure of that. I don't leave LA unless I get paid and paid well, Dr. Chow. So I do enough comedy and I've done enough comedy where I'm not doing it just to hang out with people from, but Hackamania is basically a Dabbleverse light comedy festival. So, I don't know what Ray is getting, but I should be getting more just because I have more credits. Well, I mean, I don't know if that includes air travel, hotels. He could be getting paid 1,000 plus airfare and travel and hotels. Uh, well, I mean, I get it, Chris. It was just like, I could see if I'm an extreme ball buster, roasting people in chat, someone fucking with me with a fake super chat. But I don't know. Now I am not on McMahon's payroll. I'm not a woman in my 20s. Jordan, you know better than that. But the intrigue, there is a front row seat for, I think on StubHub for $4,000. There's no way I could spend that. But you're basically in the middle of the front row facing the camera. So you'd be in every shot basically. And if I wore that Plato's Retreat shirt, like, and my if someone wants to custom make me a sign, you know, Austin Gunn is a homo. You let me know. We can work out an arrangement. And on the back side of the sign, you can plug your website. Yeah, might as well just send me $1 million super chat. Let's get nuts. So, uh, we'll see. I mean, I've got 36 hours to decide, and I'm a riverboat gambler. How much is an Uber from Charlotte to Greensboro? Now, I got to be honest with you. After the event, I don't really feel like sitting in the Charlotte airport for 6 hours. That something tells me that that's not exactly a great hang. But who knows? I mean, yeah, but a limo, that's more money. The Kennedy limo. I mean, I don't know what is Charlotte, 20 minutes from Greensboro, so uh rent a U-Haul van. What am I, a poor? I've got to be driven. I want to show up in the front of the Greensboro Arena in style. But that's probably $50. So, this is adding up. I mean, RoboCop might be there. That would be funny though if RoboCop walked him down to the ring. I mean, there's got to be some big surprise that's coming. I was kind of wishing Flair did turn on Sting. Like, it would really make no sense, but or like, I think it'd be funny if towards the end of the match, Sid, all the four horsemen who are still alive, you could wheel out Barry Windham. They cause him to lose the match. You're right, William Zoom. I stand with you. But it's like, oh, dude, that would be funny if the Shockmaster came down, RoboCop came down, and they started battling. I mean, that guy, Tugboat's still alive, right? Or did he die too? It's probably easier to say who's alive than more who's dead. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, I mean, Tony Khan is a mark. Someone from Sting's past is coming. I just think if they made it a lumberjack match with everyone from Sting's era who's still alive, um, yeah. So, I mean, hopefully, or maybe MJF comes down and costs Sting the match. I mean, he don't need the heat, but that would be good. Um, I mean, I heard Sting say that he is. I mean, just the fact that it's 64 years old, he did one more ceiling drop. Uh, I don't like that black shit he uses around the base of his makeup now to cover up the hairline. It's like, bro, we all know you're balding. You're 64. It's all good. I have seen Rock is back in WWE, but I'm really into Sting. Uh, Ray DeVito was saying last night he was going to ask you if you could get him. I could get him in the Comedy Store, but I can't get him a spot. I can barely get myself spots at the Comedy Store. Who knows? Who knows? Cold C. That's a good. There's some good. Maybe you guys should write for AEW. Well, I mean, I don't know how he could be getting $2 grand. The comedy show's in a bar, so unless ticket sales are through the roof, um, I can't imagine. Um, I would think if Ray's getting 2 grand, I'm getting 2 grand at least. I have more credits than he does, which is how really comics are paid. It's like who has more credits? All right, give him this. Um, I don't know. I don't watch the Dabbleverse shows anymore. I used to a lot because I thought it was really fun, but now it's just boring to me. It's like it's the same shit every fucking episode. Like I may only have 15 people in here. Would I love 1,000 or whatever? Sure. Would I love, hundreds of people super chatting? Yeah, sure. But I'd rather have this stream. Everyone's cool. We're having fun in here. Uh, oh yeah, I can't imagine how scary Sid must have been as a 5-year-old. Um, but that was a good one. It's just crazy to me that Sting is still actively wrestling. And it's not that I don't want to go. It's really just, and I still might go, but I just know that Sting's participation in the match is gonna be the same. He's gonna do the corner squash. He'll do, the Scorpion Death drop, Scorpion Death lock, and I get it. And he'll probably do at least one more wacky stunt. I'll assume a ladder and do a backflip. Uh, so I've got time to decide. And to be honest with you, what's opened my eyes is the price for the plane ticket and um, the ticket for the event. The prices are literally dropping every 2 hours, so it's a game of risk and calculation. Um, no doubt, no doubt, Italian Stallion. Wait a minute. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, a legend in the streaming wars. Betta Frog Splash Eddie or Art Bar, Gringos Locos. I'm gonna go with Eddie, to be honest with you. Oh, thank you. This is a good Judas Priest shirt. I took the city round at 1 a.m. Loaded, loaded. I'm all geared up to start again. I come alive in the neon lights. That's when I make my move at night, living after midnight. Judas Priest, they lived a full life, especially Dave Holland, the drummer. You're right. You guys are almost talking me into it. After I get back from my manzillion, Art Bar would have loved Peak Roast Battle at the store. A lot of people would. I was just telling someone last night about the peak of Roast Battle really was the Wild West. You guys are getting me amped up about the Sting match. I'm not going to lie. Well, I didn't have a Russian contingent helping me. Or what was the vibe like back then when he came out as a bone smoker? I don't know who you're talking about. Like what? Who's a bone smoker? Um. Well, yeah, but the Russians were paying for everything. If we can get, I don't know, someone from Russia to front my tab, I'll drive to Greensboro right now in a Lamborghini Countach. I could probably get there by a Sunday night. 48 hours. Could I get to Greensboro, North Carolina in 2 days driving. That would be great if Nikita Koloff was coming, Jordan. By the way, check out Jordan's travel vlog. And I bet most of you haven't, but like, check it out, man. His videos, there's going to be a good video about Sting's last match. You're right, but I'd have it custom made to be an automatic. It's my fantasy. I don't know if Abdullah the Butcher is going to be there. They can roll him down the 10 freeway. Maybe we can have an after party at Abdullah's Ribs. I can drive a stick, but maybe Kamala's legs are going with the guy from Def Leppard's arm. I mean, you guys are tempting me. I'm telling you, right? Are you a Ruski spy? Well, if I was, I'd be going to Greensboro first class. I mean, I mean, all told, it's going to be about 4G. Well, maybe not 4G. So let's say right now, the nonstop flight from LA to Greensboro. Last night it was $2,600. Now I can't fly coach. Come on. Today it was $2,100. Now I've got to figure that won't be filled. It's the only flight left that will get me there in time. And I will have no baggage, no luggage, so I can just walk off the plane and, try and get to Charlotte by 4 o'clock. Now, I don't necessarily care if I miss the dark matches, and I don't mean the ones with the African Americans. I mean, for you guys not watching wrestling, I can't fly coach. Well, Corolla might fly coach. Daddy don't fly coach. I need to be taken care of. So if Lex Luger can pick me up at the airport in Charlotte, we could use this parking spot in Greensboro. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm doing my best, guys. I'm trying to make it. I'm a comedy soldier. Now the spot at the Comedy Store tomorrow night, that's about $500, so I could put that to the cause, and we'll see what happens. What goes for $285 with no stopover? I mean, yeah, but I think Bischoff is he lives in Idaho, so I'm gonna have to reroute the plane. But I probably, what I probably should have done is go to the Alabama show and just stay in the South for a couple days. Maybe pick up some comedy gigs at Huntsville Live, if I can avoid the sniper attacks in Alabama. I should do a live stream from the plane. Well, I don't know if that's an option, Jordan. I don't know. Although the mom still loves me. I see who watches my stories. I see some of the fake accounts all of a sudden that have an interest in my stories. But, I do have something exciting I'm working on. I'm not sure of the day yet, but I have located the hotel where Cobra served as Stallone's apartment. And I thought about maybe one of these nights doing a live stream, just staying there for the night, doing a live stream from the hotel. I think it's room 7. And yes, the Venice V Hotel. Of course, William Zoom would know. The Venice V Hotel, I believe. I still want your eyes, pig. They'll say I'm insane. I mean, I could probably stay with Wendy, Ric Flair's ex-wife, but as a platonically, of course, platonically. And I thought if Big Bill was going, I don't think Big Bill's even gonna be there, so that kind of sucks. So we'll see. The Earl Army is in force, no doubt about it. So we'll see, guys. This is like a cliffhanger. In about 10 minutes when I hit end of stream. I was planning on getting a slice of pizza. I'm sure there's a pizza joint on the boardwalk nearby. and maybe I'll stay with RJ City. We're friends. Um, but that's the beauty. As if I do go, I would literally would not be. I would be there less than 24 hours. I'd be arriving at 1:30 p.m. Sunday, and I would be back home in Los Angeles at, I believe, 11 a.m. Monday morning. So we'll see. You know, we'll just see what comes up. I mean, he does live in Los Angeles, I believe. So who knows? Oh, I see what you're saying. Interesting. Oh, that's okay. I don't mind being stream sniped. I don't give a fuck. I mean, at some point I got to go on. Well, I mean, Pam's leather pants are about $1,000. So, who knows? The only thing that's for sure about Earl is that nothing's for sure. And, but I got to go on at some time. I've told you guys this before, but if I waited to go on while no one else is streaming, I wouldn't be able to go on. So, I don't think Melton minds me taking 24 viewers from him. It's not like I have 500 people in here. But that's a very interesting strategy, birthday boy stab, man. But don't they get a little weird that you don't hit your connecting flight? I mean, Osprey. I've seen Osprey wrestle before uh, at the New Japan show I went to in Long Beach, and it's worth it. Like, he's very good live, and he's in his prime right now. So, and I've seen Takeshita wrestle live at Pro Wrestling Gorilla, and it's pretty impressive, to be honest with you. So, we'll see. I'm down to clown, but um, well, I mean, I don't know. I just think with the terrorism and shit, uh, they would get, okay, why wasn't this passenger on his connecting flight? And then if I did it, um, is Kip Smith is moderating. Gina Babina is not here, but I have two moderators, Kip and Gina Babina. Well, that's what I've always said, Cold Sea, that the Dabbleverse is really, when you start hitting me and stream sniping me, or I know the Win by Two guys were saying how boring I am. I'm a lot of things. Boring ain't one of them. So snipe away, I guess. I mean, the one thing you have to give me, if I could pat myself on the back, is I don't stream snipe. I don't really talk about other people's shows. I just talk for an hour or two, and I'm okay with that. Now, the other shows have hundreds more people than I do listening and super chatting, but I get my kicks doing stand up. So, hello out there to whoever is stream sniping me, you rat bastards. So, and plus, I've done roast battle on television. There's nothing that's going to be said about me in the stream sniping world that's going to hurt my feelings. I won't even respond to it. You want to say something to me? Say it to my face at Hackamania. See how brave you are then. Oh, I don't care if Melton's sniping me. I mean, what am I going to do? If it bothered me, that's how they win. So, and you're right, Jordan. I'm interested to see how they bring in Okada, because I thought, well, they could bring him in March 13th when Mercedes Moné debuts. But I would think they want that whole night to be getting the shine. I just hope they use all these new guys and girls good. Like, there really aren't a lot of great options for Mercedes Monet. Like, she's probably the best female wrestler in the world. So you're gonna have to put her in there against, and the only two people right now I think that would be good for her are the two champs, Tony Storm and Julia Hart. But Julia Hart might be a little green to wrestle Mercedes. Um, um, well, I've had technical issues myself, Kip, so I can't blame him for that. I'm the last person on planet Earth who can make fun of anyone having technical issues on their pod or their stream or whatever this world is called. Because I know tonight Pat Dixon's on at 8 p.m. I don't know if anyone else is. So, to me, the 4 p.m., right after MLC ends is like my sweet spot to come on and do my thing. Yeah, Virtuosa's good. Um, Britt Baker, I don't know if she's just taking time off. I think Jamie Hayter, when she comes back, would be a good one. Abaddon, I guess, but I just don't see that um, having. I don't know. I don't know how they would do that. Like, she's like basically a high level jobber, so I don't know if I don't know. I mean, it's not a great concern because, like I said, you could do Tony Storm and then Julia Hart, or Julia Hart and then Tony Storm. Um, so it'll just be interesting to see how they use her. Because after that, let's say it's Mercedes against Julia Hart in London. What do you do after that? Um, so I'm interested. And same thing with Okada. What do you do with him? Like, they've butchered Jay White. To be honest with you, I mean, Jay White should not be in 12-man tags with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Um, I mean, I like all the shows. I still listen to MLC a little bit, and then I listen to Melton in the mornings. But I'm usually so tired I fade after about a half hour. I just find it so repetitive now that it's just not interesting to me anymore. It's the same shit. But I remember telling Melton a couple months ago, I said, the Dabbleverse will implode soon when they start hitting me. Like, because then that's a sign you've run out of targets. So, um, we'll see what happens. I don't, I just think I think you need new targets, and the Stuttering John stuff's played out. The Chad stuff is played out. Um, the Ray stuff is, never really gathered steam, but that's played out. And, the Shuley stuff's played out. And then you've seen other people kind of enter in to try and be the next victim or target, like Karen Meaney was just, she's pretty, but she's just not interesting enough to hit. And then Joey C is just, it's just not interesting enough. Um, and then Perry's been old and boring for 20 years. Like, Perry's peak was 25 years ago, in my opinion. Uh, I don't know who Wendy is, to be honest with you. I like Melton. I mean, Melton's good because he's an OG podcaster, and the stream sniping and the clip. He's the best at clipping shows and whatnot. But I just it's all been done before. I mean, I don't think they'll run back to LA for spots because I think that there's not a lot of spots in LA. I mean, Austin, you can make a living there doing spots. Um, so Wendy Williams, yeah, that's quite a downfall. Wendy Williams, gigantic tits, though. I'll tell you that much. So, it's going to be interesting, like in a year from now, how the Dabbleverse is, because I just think it only, the Dabbleverse is like a pro wrestling card. It only works when there's a good guy and a bad guy. And right now, there's really no good guys in that world. And the bad guys are all played out. So, and it sucks because, in the Dabbleverse, it's only good if the bad guys fight back. Like when Stuttering John didn't say anything, he was killing them because they were begging him to get in the ring and fuck you guys. And then when he started doing that, I don't know if he was talented enough to like keep it up. There's only so many ways to call him a drunk. That okay, we've heard it 1,000 times before. I mean, Kevin and not Kevin, Carl and Shuley like picked whatever meat was on that bone clean. Well, I mean, it's a lot of people are going there to see comedy, and a lot of people are going there to do comedy because the pay structures. Rogan's Club, I think you get minimum $100 for a small room spot. And if you're like an unknown comic, and if you're a big name comic, I think I saw on Andrew Schultz's show, some guy said he did 4 shows in the big room, like opening up for someone big, and like he made enough money to finance his trip. So, and I think if you're featuring for a big comic, you're getting like 200. Usually, like my friend Ty Rivera, he said when he opened up for Tim Dillon at the Mothership, they paid him $200 a show for 6 shows, so that's $1,200 plus Tim paid him. So he made as much as $2,000 to $3,000. You're not doing that in Los Angeles. I mean, it's certainly a hotbed right now, but I think the problem is that, especially at the Mothership for Los Angeles comics, is that if Adam didn't give you spots in Los Angeles, he's probably not going to give them to you in Austin. So you move there, you do these bar shows, and you're like, the only way I'm playing Mothership is if I do Kill Tony. Goodbye. So, but I got to start worrying about myself. See, I've never really listened to Legion of Skanks. I've done Skankfest once, but I guess they did invent the combat style of the podcast wars. But I think well, you're right. I should be, but I just that's the problem. Like I dabble, pardon the pun, in and out of wrestling when wrestling doesn't have good bad guys, and I kind of lose interest. That's all right, Kip. I mean, you didn't really ask a question, and I'm just kidding. I'm not charging people for questions, but like right now in AEW, I'm intrigued by Ospreay coming in because he's a great bad guy. Okada, he can be both a good and bad guy. When MJF comes in, well, see, I don't like the ones with the panel because there's just too many people talk, and like when they did the Legion of Skanks Kill Tony, and it's like 7 comics shitting on one open mic level comic. I just don't find that funny. I don't find it appealing at all. So because I mean, it was just like, does it really take 5 to 7 comics to bully this one fat open micer? Yeah, he does. He does have a good douchebag look, and the accent and the bruv. Because I always thought it doesn't make sense him being and Don Callis's family because he's in United Empire with Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. Now, Mark Davis, I believe, is injured, but they've kind of misused Kyle Fletcher. Like, they should have had him carrying the torch until Ospreay came over from New Japan, but they did not. So, um, it'll be interesting to see how they use Ospreay. I mean, of course, there's a ton of guys he can wrestle. With New Japan being kind of under the radar, you could kind of make the you could run back Ospreay and Jay White, Ospreay and Omega has been done twice already, but I could watch those guys wrestle 100 times. You could have Ospreay and MJF. You could have Okada and MJF. You could have Wardlow and Ospreay. You could have, a lot of good matches for Okada and Ospreay that would be relatively fresh to the American audience. So, okay. I see. I didn't know that, Nick. Well, I just think that, the Dabbleverse was interesting like 2 years ago when it was like all this was new and the Stuttering John stuff was new. The Chad stuff was new. And Chad was a great villain, because he knew exactly when to pull back and step on the gas. And, Steel Toe was, he's like the cowardly villain, like a Sean Spears type, if you want to take something from the wrestling world. But now, all those characters are just kind of old and played out. And that's like when wrestling starts to hit a ditch or whatever you want to call it. But now, especially with AEW, you've got the potential for some fresh matchups. MJF Okada, MJF Ospreay. I'd like to see MJF and Jay White run it back. Wardlow against Ospreay or Okada. And don't do like 3-ways, man. There's two man matches, man. And so, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I hope that they don't butcher Ospreay and Okada like they have Jay White. How is Jay White not on one of your biggest reviews? It's unforgivable. So I just don't. I don't understand that. The Chocolate War leaving Tubi. That's the worst news I've gotten today. Yeah, I saw a picture of the Crow remake. It looked bad. I have a Chocolate War on DVD. Thank you very much. Problem is, I don't have a DVD player. Hello, boing, 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 boing. We'll do for another 10 minutes, and then I got to conduct some business. So get those last minute questions in. Let me thank the tippers in the live chat. Let me thank the fan funders. Thank you, Colt C and Peter Chicken Man Brennan. You guys are universal soldiers. No, I started at 4 p.m., my friend. 4 p.m. Lambda, lambda, lambda. Well, the first Crow was just good. It had a great character actor from Michael Mann's Crime Story, John Polito. You can't beat that. So, are you ready? What do you think about stoicism? I don't know what that is. Are you ready? Oh, I guess I could. I never thought about that. Stoicism, like First Crow. Yeah, First Crow was good, man. And then, I don't know what happened. Just the tippers, Simon. Well, I like to thank the tippers, for financially rewarding me for my talents. But that's just me. Yeah. The First Crow was just, Brandon Lee was a great actor. It would have, yeah, you're right on that. Are you ready to rock? Brandon Lee was, he had talent. Like, it would have been interesting to see if he stayed with karate movies or action movies, or if he broke into like actual acting. Something tells me he wanted to do more than just karate movies. I mean, how fucking insane would that have been to like be the next karate star, but yet you're always going to be compared to your dad, who's generally acknowledged as the greatest martial artist of all time. Yes, he was hot. I don't. I mean, I probably have. Are you ready? But I don't recall it at the time. With someone just telling me that the chocolate war is being taken off a Tubi, my mind ain't right. But I mean, he was a good actor. Like that. What Showdown in Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren? I mean, you know, that's a good movie, and he had actual acting talent. But I could also people going, "Thank you, Lambda Lambda. You've ruined my evening with that devastating news." So if you have Tubi, watch The Chocolate War. It's a great movie with the villainous John Glover, Adam Baldwin in it, um, Jenny Wright, Inappropriate Earl podcast alumni, Elon Mitchell Smith. Um, I forget the guy who played Archie. He was in CSI Vegas. He was a good villain. Wait, are you serious? Tony Khan has purchased TNA. No, you're kidding me, right? Let me see that shit. No lies in this stream. Because then I get excited and then nothing happens. I don't see anything trending on Twitter. Yes, Wallace played Archie. What was that group called? Not the Skulls, but the rogue group of students in the Chocolate War. The villain, the Vigil, something like that. I mean, that's a great movie. It's an independent movie. I remember I saw it at the theater in the West Side Pavilion, which is now owned by Google, I believe. The Vigils, yes, and it was like. So I don't think they made the movie to ever be like a blockbuster, but like good acting. I mean, Jenny Wright was just so cute in that movie. Just like, damn. And Elon Mitchell Smith, I think that's one of the last films he did. And then I think he lives in Austin, like teaching history or something. He just said, fuck it. Yes, got to sell those chocolates. Wallace Langham, yes. Who was the one who went against the Vigils? He started talking shit about the Vigils and they beat him up. What was his name? It's a deep question, but only in my stream can we have this question asked. He was the guy who was like, fuck the Vigils. So that's just, it kind of reminds me of the movie. It's another underrated movie you don't really hear talked about a lot. Heaven Can Help Us, with a very young Kevin Dillon, Patrick Dempsey, Mary Stuart Masterson. Yeah. What was his name? I don't know why I'm having a brain fart. I've tried a few times to get Adam Baldwin to come on to talk about My Bodyguard and the Chocolate War. And I believe he was in one of my favorite one-season canceled shows ever. Yes. Bolo. Adam Baldwin was in The Inside, which was a one-season show on Fox with Rachel Nichols as a female profiler, and Adam Baldwin was one of the helpers. DC Cab. I mean, he's had a nice career. I mean, he's been a working actor for 1980. My Bodyguard came out, so that's 44 years. I probably should look into getting Craig Sheffer on the podcast. That would reinvigorate my go back to my roots of the podcast. I mean, I can't imagine people really hounding Craig Sheffer for an interview. So we got 5 more minutes, guys, before I got to go get my man Zillion. Wait, who was in X Files? Craig Sheffer or Adam Baldwin? Well, if he was in X Files, he definitely knew the great Randy Stone. Yeah, I mean, he had a great run, Craig Sheffer. Okay. I love that movie he did with Virginia Madsen, Fire with Fire. Silly teen angst movie. Uh, but the black guy from the Warriors, he was in it. Cochise from the Warriors. Yeah. I mean, the Chocolate War was a very, very well acted, dark. Certainly wasn't a dark well, like you might say it was a dark comedy. Um, yeah, I mean, Virginia Madsen and Fire with Fire was like, I mean, I don't have a type, but wow, just like because I went to a Catholic grade school and it was very much like that. Like, um, well, yeah, I don't know if it was a dark comedy or like John Glover was pretty funny in it. But I would say because of like the bullying of Elon Mitchell Smith that uh, it wasn't necessarily a comedy. Um, yeah, I do remember that movie, William Zoom. That was kind of and the girl in that, I remember, I think she was also in DC Cab, the pretty brunette. Um, but I mean, Glover was kind of funny in 52 Pickup, which definitely was not a dark comedy, but um, and the blonde girl from Fire with Fire, not Virginia Madsen, but the kind of the nerdy friend. I believe she was in Nightmare and Dream Warriors. Um, I don't know her name, but don't go on the trip, Earl. You need to stay and slay the LA Beaver. You know, we might have to end the stream with that. I'm going to, yeah, I mean, I would think Fire with Fire is a kind of movie you would see on YouTube. They have some weird movies on YouTube for free. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't recall her being in anything else other than I think Dream Warriors, and the one with Patricia Arquette, um, or not Patricia Arquette. Who's the other Arquette who was in Medium? But Fire with Fire had a pretty good cast. Like his friend, Craig Sheffer's friend. Okay, but Roseanne is the one I was confused. Yeah, Patricia was the one in Dream Warriors, but Craig Sheffer's best friend in Fire with Fire. I think he was in Teen Wolf. I think I met him at a gym once. I'm like, "You're the dude from Fire with Fire, the map maker," and he was like, Um, no, not DB Sweeney. DB Sweeney was the enemy in Fire with Fire. But the guy who was the map maker. I think I saw him. Was he in Teen Wolf 2? He was in another movie pretty soon after Fire with Fire, and then I don't recall him being in anything. I think he was in the volleyball movie. Um, I know William Zoom's going to beat me to the punch. Side Out. Damn, we're pretty close, William. Pretty close. We got 1 minute. I think he was the guy, uh, not Peter Horton, but the other. He was C. Thomas Howell's buddy. Uh, and Side Out. Side Out's another like. It's a movie that's so bad it's good. Like when you have the main bad guys be volleyball players with no acting experience. Like I think the one guy, Rolo, was it Rolo, who was a real life, superstar volleyball player with um, I forget the blonde guy's name, Karch Karai, and fuck, I forget the. I'm not. I mean, beach volleyball was like huge back in the day. So, all right, guys, we've done an hour and 20 minutes. I appreciate you guys. Thank you once again, Colt C and Peter Chicken Man Brennan. Depending on my travel plans this weekend, I'm not sure when the next stream is going to be. You know, maybe we do a live watch. Maybe I stay home and make some money, honey. We'll see what happens. This has been the Earlverse on a Friday night. I'm sure there's many shows right now you could watch that are stream sniping each other. So it's a 2-for-1 banger. So I love you all. This has been the Earl Skakel Earlverse stream. Sting for life.